So I told you guys before that food is going to be the future. Food is going to be a huge profit center for businesses and companies and corporations. And this is just one of the many opportunities that exist out there for folks out there looking for opportunities for side hustles and passive income streams. I'll just put it as align yourself with the food because the food is going to bring revenue. It's going to. It always has. It always will. Even Ty Lopez. I watched Ty Lopez just the other day, and he says he's investing heavily in agriculture and farmland. And he's like, food will never go away, plain and simple. He even breaks down the differences in food created and processed in scientific laboratories versus food that's actually grown and created in fields and traditional crop yields and things like that. Big deal. Okay. Now, not everybody can jump into farming and agriculture and buying up thousands of acres. However, there are investment vehicles that would allow you to get in with some fractional shares, basically like fractional shares like you would see on like Robinhood or M1 Finance that would allow you to buy into these expensive companies' stocks at whatever dollar value that you had available. And speaking of which, there's actually another opportunity, another investment opportunity that exists that allows people to get in on really expensive assets that are increasing in value at fractions. So literally everybody can get a piece. But food is going to be one. And if you guys want to know more about that fractional asset class, just drop a comment, let me know. And so food is going to be a big deal. Retail is going to come probably in close second. But again, it's what I've been telling you guys about aligning yourself, creating your business to be a business that other businesses need to support. And so businesses will always need to support other businesses that are going to make them money. Now, with that being said, uh, perhaps there may be some folks out there that will need to hear this message more than others as they're probably at the greatest risk as it relates to business and food because this is going to come down to fast food. It's going to come down to fast food. I think fast food is going to have a little bit of a struggle for the price of the food and the quality of the food in addition to the quality of the experience and the customer service. And this is why people are probably at risk when I talk about food and their income and their employment and the future of food. And the future of food to me includes tons of automation and a reduction of human workforce. So keep that in mind. But food itself is a profit center. It just is. You know, food is a necessity. It's you cannot live without it. And the companies that have it and or have access to it will charge whatever they want to charge for it. You see what I'm saying? Depending on where you fall into this financial chain, on this financial ladder will be depend on how much you make. Unfortunately, I don't think the farmers rank too high on that ladder because of how farming is, how they go to market. But that's a topic for another video. But at the end of the day, I think fast food is at great risk for the price, which they don't necessarily have a full control over because they're profit margin based off of the input costs, the cost of goods sold, the foods that they bring in, the chicken, the lettuce, the buns, the condiments, the French fries, whatever is involved in these businesses, the burgers, the patties. eh, These are input costs. These are costs of goods sold, and as they go up, the fast food restaurant chains have to increase their prices based on percentage, just a margin. It's a percent. It's a profit margin percentage, basically. So as their costs go up, the price goes up. But from the consumer side, as the fast food prices continue to go up because of this profit margin percentage on the input costs going up, the consumer, at least in my opinion, is looking at it like, all right, the price is going up, but I'm not really getting more for my money. I'm getting the same, maybe even less quantity of food, possibly less quality of food because the source of the ingredients have changed because of some of these supply chain issues, some of these global conflicts, Russia and Ukraine, and sanctions and things like that. Seasonality, droughts, intense heat, floods, like everything is impacting what the customer receives, what the consumer receives. So then, in my opinion, it's like, look, I'm not going to pay a ridiculous amount of money for fast food garbage. Okay. And I'm definitely not going to pay a ridiculous amount of money for fast food garbage with poor service and rude employees and rude customer service, this is not a blanket statement. This is not pointing out anyone in particular, but I am starting to see a little bit more of a growing trend of these employees, perhaps maybe very, very unhappy and unsatisfied with their employment, which then further brings down the fast food industry, which puts them in a position of low value, high price because of poor service and unhappy employees. So with that being said, it's kind of like, all right, well, if I got this money that these businesses want and need, I am in control. I decide where I spend it. I decide when I spend it. I could go to a grocery store and buy all my food. I could grow my food. I could be self-sufficient. I don't have to pay them for what they offer and be dissatisfied with what I'm getting. And then it gets to a point in which it's like, well, this fast food restaurant is almost as expensive as a sit down restaurant that ultimately gives me the perception of higher value, higher quality, a better experience, a wait staff that is gratuity based, that actually somewhat cares about how they treat the customers and customer satisfaction. So I see it as, granted, I don't really see certain fast food restaurants falling into this downward spiral of basically falling to the wayside and potentially going under and laying off hundreds of thousands of employees if a big restaurant chain were to go out of business, hundreds of thousands of folks are going to lose their job. But this is business evolution. This is economic evolution. Like I said, we're in an economic cycle and things are changing rapidly, and they're changing in ways that we haven't really quite seen them change before in the past. So all this is new, somewhat uncharted territory, but at the end of the day, the businesses are either going to do what they need to do to remain on top, or the businesses are going to disappear. And I don't think that every business, I don't think every fast food restaurant, I don't think these chains have the leadership that they need in order to see them through this and come out the other side victorious. If you guys want to know my opinion, hit me up. I don't want to share it here, but I have my opinion on who will make it and who will not. Some will make it because they're actively pushing to be better. They're pushing to be better. They're pushing to provide value. They're pushing to keep the customers happy. They're pushing to keep the employees happy. You keep the employees happy, the customers will be happy more than likely. But it's a challenge. It's a delicate game that they have to balance and play right now because of the situations that we're in. You can't deny that. We can't argue that. But then like others don't have the leadership and they're just kind of hoping they get lucky. And hope is not a plan, okay? Hope is not a viable strategic option for ultimately succeeding. But then you have others that they have leadership, they don't really have hope, they also don't really care, and they're almost kind of like in a situation where they're too big to fail. So there's like 3 different categories of how these restaurants can be classified, and ultimately the future of these restaurants, but also the future of the employment for these restaurants. And with that being said, I think even the great ones are going to continuously find ways to reduce their overhead and eliminate their expense of the employee and find ways to ultimately be like super efficient, less wasteful, and more profitable through automation, AI, and technology. Like there's vending machines out there that make hamburgers. You see what I'm saying? Like, and if you dial it in to a extreme 0.001% of error, then guess what? You'll waste less because the technology is perfect, so to speak. Like it doesn't mess up. So you don't have to worry about losing profit because you overcooked or a burger that has to be replaced. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is just my experience. Maybe I'm going to the wrong restaurants. Maybe I need to change where I eat from time to time. I don't eat out all the time, but it seems to be like a little bit of a growing trend where folks are just kind of like lackluster. They don't care. It kind of shows that they don't care. They're rude. They don't have communication skills. They don't value me as a customer. I don't think they don't value me choosing to spend my money there. They don't see the direct connection with the paycheck that they receive every week or every 2 weeks and me buying a meal or me telling someone about this restaurant, good or bad, how I tell them about it, me leaving a review for them. It's unfortunately a dying industry for a lot of reasons. And I hate that that's the case, but we've seen this happen before. We've seen businesses come and go. We've seen evolution, and we're going to continue to see it for as long as, we are in existence. Now, with that being said, if you guys want to know how you can align with these businesses, if you are in these positions and you're saying, look, Kevin, I get it. I hear you. I don't like my job. I'm in fast food. I do a good job or I don't do a good job. I'm kind of burnt out, but I'm also scared. I'm freaking out. I wish I had a plan. I need to make more money. I need to supplement my income. I need to have more money coming in case, we run out of diesel fuel and I can't get the food I need to sell at my restaurant, or in case the customers quit coming because inflation is so high and they can't afford it. I need help. I need a plan. I need a solution. I need a way of controlling my income and generating my own income. And I'm telling you guys, we're about to see 2023. If you're not doing it now, please start. Come 2023, we're going to hit the ground running. I'm going to tell you that right now. And it's going to be a select group of folks behind the scenes that are in tune with the direction that the market is going, that are going to see these benefits, that are going to start getting paid. And although there are comments and statements being made that advertisers are pulling back, I don't believe it. I'd say that some advertisers are pulling back. I say some advertisers are doubling down, I'd say depending on what niche and category and market you're in, you're going to see a difference. But I would never say, one thing that I would pretty much guarantee, which will probably never go away, is marketing and advertising. I just don't see it happening. Now, if someone can explain to me how they realistically possibly could fathom marketing and advertising going away completely, you let me know. But I just don't see it happening. And with that being said, I actually came across an article today that I want to share with you guys on another video. Actually, I'll put it in the group for the members because I think this is a great opportunity for folks out there looking to create platforms and building out their brands to connect with these businesses and connect with the customers and the consumers that the businesses want to connect with. And literally, it takes no money to do it. It takes no money to do it. And it's in an area of which people are really focused on now, which is basically like recycling and using this recycling method to generate income for everybody. And it's an amazing opportunity, and it's fitting for what's going on right now, especially with the way that our supply chain is affected, has been affected, and will continue to be affected for probably at least the next 2-3 years. And the way prices are going up and inflation, this is one of those nuggets I was telling you about. This is a nugget I'm gonna drop. I'll put it in the group for the members, but it's a huge opportunity. And I get these on multiple occasions throughout the day where companies are looking to connect. They have plans for the future. They have innovation for the future, and they need to get in front of the customers and express it and explain it and teach it in a way that makes folks understand and excited about what's coming. And it's a great employment, it's a great income opportunity. And part of it is going to tie in with the food market. And like I said, the future of food is ultimately going to be a huge financial, profitable financial business venture for those who get involved with it. I hope that includes you guys.